Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking into all things to do with the Cryolator, so let's crack on with it. Before we do crack on, I just want to throw in a couple of things. We have a giveaway for the Tato Salad recipe and a Mutation Serum of the winner's choice that I will purchase for them. And that is to celebrate the 500 subscribers goal that we met. The details for that will be in the description below. Now let's crack on with it. So first things first, where can you acquire the Cryolator plan? So we're over at White Springs, the mall, and White Springs Mall is just to the bottom right of Vault 76. So just come down and to the right and you'll find White Springs. And we're going to go to the entrance, fast travel to White Springs Mall. Once you're inside, if you just follow my pathing, we're going to go over to these baby blue, sort of bright blue kind of colored shop. And it is the Free State vendor bot. And when you speak to him, after I reload apparently, game. There we go. Go over to notes, and I already have it, so here it is, the Cryolator plan. So let's look at the crafting of the Cryolator. Now the Cryolator is a heavy gun, so we're going to pop into heavy guns and look at the Cryolator here. And you are going to need science rank 1, so make sure you have that equipped. So you can craft this weapon as low as level 25 and as high as level 45. So if you're below 45 and between 25, you can try this weapon out. And if you think that your damage is low, this weapon might be the one for you, as you can freeze bosses at events and maybe feel a little bit more useful with yourself. I personally enjoy freezing bosses. There's something oddly satisfying about it. Keeping a boss frozen for your team, especially the Scorch Beast, which likes to whiz around everywhere. So you can craft this at 45. I actually already have one crafted already, so let's have a look at it. So for the modifications, for the barrel, you have two options: standard and crystallizing barrel. I'm going to pop on the crystallizing barrel. We have standard stock and the recoil compensated stock. I am going to put on the recoil compensated stock. It gives me a little bit of VATS accuracy at the expense of weight. For the sight, I do have the glow sight. Now for the modifications, some of them you will already have when you buy the plan, and some of them you acquire through scrapping the weapon. So just scrap the weapon and you'll get the modifications. I have no paint for this weapon. I can't remember if there is one, but personally I just don't have one. So we'll leave it at that. So we're over at West Tech. I'm going to give the Cryolator a good go. The Cryolator that I will be using today is this 2-shot, 25 weapon speed, and 250 damage resistance while reloading. I don't really care about the last perk, but this is a pretty decent roll, I would say, all things considered. So the Cryolator got its base damage buffed, so we're going to go check it out at some West Tech and see if it's any good. So a couple of things: I am using full set of unyielding with some AP regen and max AP, and I do have a few food buffs that I normally have rocking and rolling, like my soups and my juices. With that out the way, let's crack on. Oh, actually, hold on, just remembered, might as well show you guys. I am using the crystallized barrel, and I do have the glow sight and the recoil compensated stock on this Cryolator. So I will be using some VATS here. Hey. Played a little bit more, but not too bad, not too shabby. You can see how long it takes for these snowballs to get over there. But you can see also this weapon is a silenced weapon, so that they're actually struggling to find out where I am, which is quite interesting. So look, you see this? Now he knows where I'm at. Take him out. We do manage to freeze them as they die, which is unfortunate. We can't freeze them beforehand. So there is a splash to this. It's like mini little explosions to these snowballs. So you can see that the damage actually spreads, which is quite interesting. And with that in mind, you can use the demolition perk card Let me show you guys my perk cards. Demolition Expert to get a little bit more damage, as it does count as sort of explosive damage, even though you're shooting snowballs. I didn't design the game. Quite interesting, if you ask me. But it's really not that bad, all things considered. I mean, it's not a railway rifle, but for a heavy gun, the fact that I can use this in VATs, I can show you guys the VAT cost real quick. For me personally, the VAT cost is 23, which is, all things considered, very, very reasonable for a heavy gun. This is a heavy weapon, so it will benefit from the heavy weapon perks. I'm going to go inside and we'll continue this. But like I was saying, this has those mini explosions, so make sure you benefit from those. This weapon doesn't benefit from the science perks, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I mean, it is absolutely shredding these these super mutants. It's really not that bad at all. Oh my gosh. It does take a while for the snowballs to reach the target, which I think is kind of funny. Especially if they're really far away. Like if I was outside shooting something really far away, it's quite comical how long it takes for these snowballs to hit the target. You can like shoot and then go and do something else, and you know, one day they'll hit the target. But let's continue this. I'm actually having fun using this. I haven't used this weapon in a good while. This is the weapon I used to use a lot before it got nerfed. But with this recent change, maybe I'll start giving it a go. I'm not sure what the increase is. It didn't say on the patch notes. It just said they increased the base damage. So I guess I could go and find out, but I'm a little too lazy for that. But you can see how insane this is. I do have a quad variant somewhere. Let's see, where do I have that? Do I have the quad cryo? Here we go. I do have a quad cryo, so let's give this guy a go. I think the 2-shot will still be better. Oh, it doesn't have that attack speed on it. That's right. You can see without having the attack speed how like the difference that 25% attack speed gives. Absolutely lovely. Definitely takes a lot longer to kill, but we have that huge 100 round mag. No, I definitely prefer the 2-shot. Oops, it's the wrong weapon. Definitely preferring this 2-shot. That 25% weapon speed. I think if I had a quad with the 25 weapon speed, that would be good to test, but I don't know. Yeah, look at that. It's just night and day. Just absolutely spewing out snowballs. I love it. This is a pretty decent weapon. And if you're a lower level, so you can use this at level 25, and you're wanting to be a little bit more beneficial at bosses, you don't have your full build, you can actually rock the Cryolator, and you can freeze the bosses for people, especially the Scorch Queen. Like, people will thank you for it if you freeze the Scorch Queen, because she can't fly up as much. You can, especially when she's landed, you can really keep her grounded for the big deeps to come in and give her the business, because a lot of people are using Holy Fires and Enclave Plasma Rifles with the Flamer mod on it to shred these bosses down. So if you freeze something like the Scorched Queen, you will really benefit those players to just absolutely pump out the beeps. The deeps. So you don't have to VATS. I am just VATSing because I can. With this weapon, because it has that explosive sort of effect to it, you can just sort of spray and pray at the target. I wonder if there's one more over here. No, you can just sort of spray and pray at the target and get the benefits from that. So what I mean by that is, like, the splash from the explosion will just spread across the target. You can see here, I'm not getting the headshot damage, but it will still spread across the body and still do some pretty decent damage. If you're in power armor, for example, just something to take note of. I'm not a big power armor user anymore, even though I have a pretty insane power armor set, but this is definitely something you can use in there. And that's really about it. I think I've really showcased this weapon's potential against these super mutants. I don't have an anti-armor. I don't have a bloody. This is just a 2-shot weapon, and you can just see how they're just crumbling under the sheer power of the Cryolator. Beautiful. We'll get one more kill and we'll call it there. And that will conclude this video. Thank you all for joining me on this little journey with the Cryolator. It did get a bit of a buff on its base damage. I'm not sure, like I said earlier, what that damage is. If anyone knows, pop it down in the comments down below. I'm just a little too lazy to find out, but it felt pretty good for me at least, and I personally enjoy the Cryolator. I always have for many moons, and if you haven't got it, definitely check it out. It's even good for players that just don't have the kit, don't have some gear, and you still want to be relevant in boss fights. Having that cryo ability is just super nice. It really is. Cheers all for joining me. Thanks all for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one.